Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Happy New Year and welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, a Happy New Year to you, Jim.
Larry, some good news. Your pilot plant is finally in the working stages or starting to get that way. What can you tell us about the development?
Well, I just got back a half an hour ago from looking at the plant with the CEO from Cometco and the contracting company that's building the plant out, and it's pretty. I'm looking at the drawings and everything. That's very sophisticated, and we would hope that I know that there's been delays, most of it through that screen, which we'll get everybody a picture of, but it'll probably be liquid tested in about a week from today, or if not that, the following Monday, and then we're ready to go. That's phase 1 and 2. You got to remember that this is the new technology that we'll be patenting. And that technology is allowing us to take the scraps that are adhered to aluminum foil and getting rid of the glues and everything else, and the foil prior to putting it through our leach plant. So I know that it seems like this has taken longer than we first anticipated, but it's a lot more. It's a lot more complicated than the pilot plant we did for manganese, for example. And it's a very robust plant, So I'm got my fingers crossed that we can do, 10 to 30 times as much material an hour as we're talking about, and we're talking about 1 kilogram once it's up and running. So that'll make up for a lot of lost time, and I'm happy with the progress so far. We want to make sure it's done correctly, that everything is working top-notch, and before we commission it, but we will be commissioning it for liquid testing, in that period of time I just talked about. Now, we've attached an article on the podcast that has to do with the electric car, the dream translating into reality. And what I found interesting about that is that back in 1900, electric cars made up 28% of total car sales in the U.S. And Henry Ford came out in 1920 with a mass production of combustion cars, and over the next decade, the electric cars pretty much disappeared from the scene. But history always seems to have a way of repeating itself, and now I think after that small burp in the late 70s when they were building electric cars, that now we're definitely on track to see more electric cars out there than, let's say, gas guzzlers sales, and probably within the next 2 decades. At least they're talking about 25 million in the next by 2025. So there is but anyway, you get the gist of what I'm saying. Is that electric cars are coming back, and I think that's most important to our business, which is going to be recycling those batteries. And I still see articles where they say with the drop in the expensive materials in a lithium-ion battery being mostly cobalt, that they're not lucrative. But we've done some calculations in here, and 811, which is the lowest chemistry out there for cobalt, has a value on a 1,000 kilogram battery on a 100 kilowatt hour battery, has a value of $1,500, and that's a half a ton. So a ton would be roughly $3,000. So you look at the price of gold today, and that equates to 2.3 ounces of gold per ton. And I know that any miner out there would be happy to have a surface mine that was running 2.3 ounces a ton. They'd make nothing but money. And we don't have gold, but we do have the cathode materials that have the same value as 2.3 ounces a ton for gold. And that is exciting when you stop and think about it. We've pretty much broke the record on getting our patent forwarded. We've been able to come up with a process to get the material off of the cathode material off of the foils, the aluminum foils, and we've got a patent-proven project out there. And our costs are going to be minuscule compared to a gold mining operation. So, I think you can do the math on that and realize that we're going in the right direction. And anybody that's looking at recycling is, being attracted by those same numbers I just gave out. So it's been a slow time this week. A lot of people not back to work yet. This is what we're finding, and but we're looking forward to the year. I mean, the Dow's up significantly today. NASDAQ, S&P, Venture, all up. That's great, and we're trading at a decent price, up a little. The last I looked, and so I see nothing but a good year coming, and I think this is our year to shine.
Larry, where are you traded, and how can people get more information about American Manganese?
Well, we're traded on the TSX Venture Exchange, and that is under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. We're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. You can visit our website where everything that we talk about is on there, and that's at AmericanManganeseInc.com. You can phone the company at 778-574-4444. You can email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Larry, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jim.
We've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on January 4th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.